When did you start the podcast?
So I have, okay, and I don't know if you know this, but so we have the Prolific Writer podcast,
Right.
which actually ended last year.
Okay.
So I don't know if you knew that. I'd like to publicly acknowledge Armand Rosamilia, who booted me off the
Oh,
network. So apparently it was doing too well, and he's like, "Sorry, kid, you're too awesome. So
yeah.
you
That
got to
that
get out
sounds
of here."
just like him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was too awesome for you guys. No, it was time. It was actually really good timing. So I was doing just the Prolific Writer, which is still available. It still gets lots of downloads, and it's a great podcast. I have people like Jay Wilburn on there.
It is a
Um,
great podcast. I really
yeah,
enjoy what you did with it.
and who knows? Maybe we'll pick it up someday. But yeah, I started a new one called the Common Grace Project, and it's really just similar to maybe this podcast, just
Hmm.
interviewing interesting people that tend to have a faith background, doing interesting things. So we've had, a guy talk about God and guns, and we've had we've had a crime writer on there, and we've had all kinds of fun things. So that's kind of a new project. And again, I do a little talking on there from different issues and subjects that I find important. So yeah, just kind of a little new experiment. But as podcasting is difficult and it takes time, and to keep kind of going at it. And so, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. And yeah, so check out the whatever podcast you like.
What sort of brought you? You mentioned it a little bit, but what sort of brought you to the decision that your author podcast, which was doing well, was done, and that it was time to begin this new one instead of just taking the free time or whatever?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did. I mean, definitely took a few years off. I think it's funny. Like even before the Prolific Writer, I think I had this idea actually before that one,
Okay.
and it just became something else, and it was great. And it's funny. I still get people still mail me books like every other week. Hey, can I come on your show? So I get a lot of free books, so it's fun. Maybe I need to go back to it, but it's one of those things where not, when you're specifically only talking about writing, you kind of I got to a point where I felt like I don't have anything else to say. Like I know, I know that sounds like really, maybe it sounds arrogant. It's not meant to be. It just, you spend, a bulk of 3 years. I did a little course with it and all that kind of stuff. On writing, and I'll still do some of that. And I think I shifted more to just how can I help people, become writers or write more
Right.
and that kind of thing. Where I love talking to writers, but it's a big commitment. I was doing it like twice a week and all that kind of stuff. And I've appreciate I still have friendships like yourself that are still going from that, and so
Hmm.
I'm really thankful for that part. But yeah, there's a point where like you're so niched down to this one thing that you're just like, I just want to talk about other things. It's fine. Like just want to mix it up a little bit. So and that's like this podcast too. It's like you have faith people, but you talk about all kinds of issues and things, and
Hmm.
it's not just one thing.